to me. Is the sound all right from back here?
Perfect. Right, let's go.
Alright, so bouncy squats just for the legs, and then we're going to add in some punching stuff. So timing's up to you. We're just going to punching just forwards with the bounce. And bouncy, and then we're doing opposites, my left, their right.
Yeah.
So a right cross, so emphasis on the right cross, but keeping your bouncy timing stuff. Trying to really feel a nice long diagonal down your arm, down your leg, stretching up, getting a nice reach and a punch. We're not knocking anybody out. And then change sides, so same thing. So nice, reaching a tiny bit further each time, a little bit higher, thinking about a nice diagonal line. And then keep crouching now. Bit of a Vindaloo football man. I can't do it without that theme tune, I'm afraid. And again, a little bit of an emphasis to the right, and then a little bit of an emphasis to the left. Timing, Kate, come on, keep up. And now we're still punching, but this time we're going down. Still bouncy, chuck in a few cheeky calf raises if you can. So up on your tiptoes. And then punch towards your right foot. Cross towards your left foot, go on. Keep calf raising, no slacking. Okay. I'm happy with arms, So lunging, left foot forwards, so forwards and backwards. Making sure that knee's pointing nice and straight, in line with your foot, not falling inwards. And then, same foot is going to go up into sort of a 45-degree angle. So out as if you're doing a little fencing thing, not fussed about the sword. And then straight at a 90-degree angle, up, open the hips to the side, up, open the hips to the side. Stepping over a big object. And then we're going to do the same thing to another 45 degrees but behind us. So big, massive open, fencing behind. And then we're going to swap legs. So forwards on the other leg. So right leg forwards and backwards if you've got enough space. So we're not stopping between, you're not past go. Anyone playing Monopoly over Christmas? Not collecting, is it still £200? And then 45 degrees with the non-fencing arm. Up and open the hips to the 90 degrees. Stepping over the object. And then 45 behind you. That's not 45, is it? That's people.
Try and do the clock backwards, that's your nemesis.
Yeah. 5 o'clock. What's that? Skippy's down the well. And then on alternate ones, we're just going to hug it in. So lift and hug. Lift and hug. So just swapping legs. As long as you're hugging both in. Alternately, I don't care if the coordination's all over the show, because mine will be. And then just some little hip twists. My hips are stiff as. So it's kind of like you're checking for something unpleasant on the bottom of your shoe. Really trying to lift the sole of your shoe up to check. Nice mirror.
Right.
I'm done.
We're ready to go. So, first one, band if you've got one on your legs, sort sort of just above your knees. This is a add the weight if you fancy it into your hands option. I'll show you with and without. You can use the weight if you like.
Stitch up.
So, moving our left leg first, we're going to do a 3 tap back, hands in front with or without the weight. So tap, tap, tap into a nice back lunge, and then a controlled twist into the front knee, and then either a tap to the middle, or you can make that a high knee back if you really want to push into the stability of the standing leg. So, tap, 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 twist in, all the way back. We're going to do straight tap back, and then a diagonal tap back. So we'll spend a bit of time in this leg, and then we'll switch over. Off we go. So 1, 2, 3, twist in, and then forward. 1, 2, 3, twist in, and then forward to a tap. 1, 2, 3, twist, and then either straight through. 1, 2, 3, twist, and straight through. There, twist, through, 1, 2, 3, twist, and straight through. 2, 3, twist, straight through. 2, 3, twist, and straight through. Twist, and straight through. Twist, and straight through. Last one on this side. Brilliant. Have a little shake of your legs. Switch sides. So straight back, diagonal. You've got your with or without weight and your twist. There. Twist. And then back up. This one's really good. So what you're thinking about, particularly with the twist, is making sure as you're doing the twist, you're not taking your hips round with you. What we're looking for is that stability with the twist. I would always think about putting some tension here, so that as you're twisting, the idea is, when you're running, you twist your top half, but the bottom half doesn't come on the same journey. There, there, there. Watch my lack of stability. Through. One more. Brilliant. All right, we're going to come down onto our mats. So we're going to do a little plank walkout. You've got options of putting the band around your arms, upper arm, or walking out with the weight, depending on what you've got and what you fancy today. So, band version is ease your way down, and then with as much of a knee bend as your hamstrings require, you walk out to a full plank or 3/4, depending on where you're up to, and then walking all the way back. All the time trying to keep that band apart. Weight version, down here, so then you just walk alternate hand weight out into whichever version of the plank you fancy, and walk it all the way back. Off we go. So, straighter legs is obviously going to work you a little bit harder, but say, just do whatever feels good for you. A little hold maybe at the end, control through there, and then slowly walk yourself back. All the way out again. Say, it's quite a nice, if your hamstrings are feeling tight, if you've been doing a lot of running or maybe quite a lot of sitting, it's quite nice to just have a little dangle in the sort of standing position for a second if you want to. Pop a little dynamic squeeze in the stretch in there. And then walk yourself out onto the mat, and we're going to come and lie on our backs. So, next one, pop the band around your legs. Lower down is harder, as almost always. So, we're going to do legs up, top half relaxed. You're going to push legs apart, so push those feet apart, nice straight legs, and then you're going to pop a little crunch in from the top half. Top half, you can pop your hands across your shoulders, or you can add a weight into the crunch if you really want to push it. Off we go. So, legs open, crunch up. Legs open, crunch up. You can also, if you're really on it today, you can have a little play around with the angle of your legs. The more horizontal they are, the harder that's going to be on that core, central core. So you can have a little play around with maybe lowering those down towards the ground, depending on...
Well, if you haven't got long hamstrings, you don't have that luxury.
You can bend your knees. Give me a couple more reps. 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Give those knees a tiny hug in. And you're just going to shift the band up so it's around just above your knees. And then we're going to come over onto our sides with bent legs. So, line yourself up, knees together, feet together. And then you've got quite a few options here. We're going to do a clam hold. So you're going to open that top knee, not taking, remember those hips stay nice and stacked, and you're going to hold that position. And then you can either stay hip down, but remember we want tension here. What we don't want is that, even though it feels really comfy. Or, if you're feeling mega key, you can come and do this from a side plank position. And then top hand is going to be open and closed. Obviously with or without a weight. So I'll show you the hardest version. Off we go. I've got there and there. I might leave the weight out if I'm feeling quite tired. There and there. But the rest of my body is staying beautifully still. I can pop my hip down, but I'm going to still create that tension here. What we don't want is that. So we're just sort of floating that arm around. We'll still get a bit of work in those glutes. But let's work on keeping that central core really nice and strong. Last 10 on this side. 2, 1, done. Little twizzle over. And have a little play around with what feels good here. So set yourself up with your clam position. Get those hands ready. Off we go. So again, if you've gone for the slightly easier version of being down, just have a little check-in with that torso, create that little bit of tension there, so that you... Just keep holding that clam, make sure those hips haven't opened up towards the ceiling, keeping those hips nice and stacked, facing forwards. 3, 2, 1, done. Slip the band off. We're going to come into a little one-leg bridge. So, again, this can be with or without the weight. You're going to cross your left foot over your right knee, plant that foot really strongly. You can have a little play around with the angle of how far away from your bum if you want to. And top half relaxed. You're just going to drive up into that bridge and then slowly lower down. So the first 30, if you want to, You could add a weight over your hips. You can then really keep an eye on that weight. What was that? Wait. So if you've added a weight, let's go for that first. Really drive up to the ceiling and then really slow lower down. Drive up and slow lower down. If you've got the weight, let's keep with that same rhythm. If you've gone without, let's do a little pulse at the top. So without, we're just going to do the last 20 seconds, just a little, let go and squeeze, let go and squeeze. Remember with the bridge, you don't push with your ribs, keep that tummy flat. Into the last 5, 2, and 1. Lovely. Bring those knees in, just have a tiny hug before we go on to the other side. And then let's do the same again. So, weights, I want you to drive up and slowly lower. If you've not got a weight, I'm just going to give you a couple of rhythms. Off we go. So we're still going to push and slowly lower for the first section. And this is a really nice one. If your back's feeling a bit tense and tight from, say, perhaps not as much exercise as normal, which is completely fine. It's nice to just work through those sort of segments of the spine a little bit. Push up and then slowly lower down. Push up and slowly lower down. If you've not got the weight, let's finish with that final little pulse. So just there, squeeze, really driving through that standing foot. So that's where that push comes from. If this position isn't comfy on your hips, you can do a little hug in. We've got 5 seconds, 2, and 1. Lovely. Nice last mat one. Again, another little hug in. And we're going to come into sitting. So sitting wise, you've got a couple of options. You can sit with your heels on the ground here, or you can be in your boat position. That's your first options. And we're just going to do a twist and touch there, with or without the weight. Off we go. So we've got there, or breathing nice and evenly. This is one of those ones where the breath needs to stay even, so that we're in control. Just give me the last 10. Three, 2, 1, done. Brilliant. Up into standing. Got our last standing one, and then round 1 is complete. So, I'm going to do a little back foot on the wall. So start with whichever one feels good. We're going to do 2 different movements here. Again, this is an optional to add the weight if you want to. So first one, hands just slide down that front leg as far down as your hamstrings will allow, and then back up again. We're going to do 10 of those. I'll show you what it looks like from the side. So we're sliding down and then back up again.
Stick your bum out. Keep your bum stuck out. And a soft standing knee.
Okay. Okay, this is an option to add the weight in. Give me a couple more. And then now hold there, and you're just going to give you time to do about 10 one-leg squats on this side. again, hips stay lovely and level, weight comes slightly more into the heel, make sure those toes are fixed. 3, 2, and 1. Let's have a little switch over. So, start with, get that weight balance right. We'll do our little slides. So, ease your way there. And then back up. And thinking about keeping that pelvis level. Weight comes there. And then back. Just give me a couple more. And then fix the top half. And we go from that soft knee over. So we don't want to spend time looking down too much, but if you can see, just have a little look down. Make sure that knee is coming down over that toe. Keeping nicely in line. It's not coming too much this way or too much that way.
Burning.
2 more. Brilliant. Round 1 is complete. Grab a quick drink. I'll share. And we go back round. Band comes back onto your thighs. You can add the weight into your twist if you want to. And we've got our 2 direction tap backs. So these come, this starts on here. And we'll go with start with our left leg moving. So we've got our 1, 2, 3. Hold that lunge really secure, twist in, and then either back to here or a high knee. Off we go. So tap, 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 and then back, and then our diagonal tap there, and then back. So remember what you're thinking about. Even with the twist, try and really think about staying lovely and stable through that bottom half. If you can sort of have a vague eye on that front knee, that shouldn't be moving when you do your twist. And back. Lovely. Brilliant. Have a little switch. Give those legs a little shake. And we go 1, 2, 3, in, and tap. 2, 3. That's probably good comedy on. If you haven't got a weight and you want to go a little bit hard, you can take your arms out a bit further, or you've got something light, you could come further out away from your body. It's obviously going to make it harder. Brilliant. Down into our plank walkout. So remember, you've got the option here of band on your hands or moving the weight along the mat. So, and we'll come here, or you can shuffle the weight along. So, straightish legs, so remember you're allowed ease those hands down to the floor, crawl your way out, either take a mini break with the knees or hold that full plank and then push yourself. So perhaps take a second or so to just enjoy that little hamstring stretch if you want to. Again, nice even breaths. Drawing that lower tummy as you come out, particularly at the end of whatever your plank looks like. That's a nice little breath out, that little zip up. Last one, and then walk yourself out so you're sort of onto the mat on your back. Pop your band on your legs, somewhere along there, and we're going to do our little kick out and then our crunch up, with or without the weight if you want to. Legs more vertical with a slight bend is easier, or easing it down towards the floor is going to be harder. Off we go. So a little push out and crunch. Push out, crunch. Hands by your ears if that feels comfy. But make sure you're lifting that chest, the shoulders and chest, rather than pushing with your chin. There. Last 10. Three, two, one, done. Just ease that band up so it's just above your knees. We're coming into our little clam hold, side plank, etc. So, let me go around. So, same side, heels together, prop up onto that elbow, and then open that top knee, and that stays the same all the time. So that's a solid hold there. Tension up through this lower torso, or pop into your side plank, and then we've got our arm in and out. So there and there, adding a little weight, if that shoulder feels good. So as time goes, just make sure that what you haven't done is open that pelvis up to the ceiling, and that you're keeping that top leg really solid. Push out into that rotation, and should then feel that fatigue a little bit. Nice squeezing those shoulder blades as you come up. Three, two, and one. Nice. Little switch over. And we're gonna pop into this side again. Fix your clamp position. Get this pelvis nice and stacked. Off we go. So there. And there. or keep it weight free, but we'll just slightly change the rhythm. So, one leg over the other. If you've got a weight, I want you to, the whole time, do the drive up and slowly lower. And if you haven't, I'll show you the second rhythm. So, we're all going to start with that push and slowly release down. Really easy each segment of the spine down to the ground. Push up and then slowly down. Whether you've got that weight on or not, try and really keep those hips level. So that's what you're trying to do, is as you drive up with that one foot, you're keeping that pelvis nice and level. If you haven't got a weight, move into your little pulses, so you get there at the top, and we're just doing a little tiny squeeze. Remember, keep those ribs flat, top half stays relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, legs relaxed. Five, two, and one. Give a nice little hug in, just to take the edge off those legs a bit. Give your feet a little bit of a paddle, and then switch sides. Off we go. So push, and release, and push. Especially if you've gone fairly heavy with the weight, you can really slow these down. You can take a little break. Remember, we're always just working to fatigue. If you've reached it, then you've done it. If you haven't got the weight, switch into that little pulse move. There. And there. Two, one, done. Lovely. We're going to come up into sitting. We've got our little sit with our heels down, or you can be in your boat position if you would prefer. And we're just going to do our little twist and twist. There and there. So, weight up, twist, up, twist, up, twist. Lovely. Last 10. Three, two, one, done. Up into standing. Pop your, just got our last one leg one. We're going to do our little slides first. Holding hands, get you just sliding either just your hands down, so front knee is slightly bent, weight slightly more into the heel, and then we're going to hinge at the hips, stick your bottom backwards and slide down towards the floor, and then a nice squeeze all the way back up. Sliding all the way down, and then back up. Probably feeling this a little bit at the back of the thigh, hamstrings, ideally, maybe a bit of glutes. One more. And then hold your top half nice and upright, check in on that posture, and we'll just finish on this leg with these one leg squats. Knee over toe, pelvis nice and level. Hopefully feeling something in your bum. 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Give your legs a little shake. Last one. So, take a moment to get yourself in position. Check in on that posture. So it's a good one to kind of look forwards, I think, because that should keep your spine fairly upright. Again, you can have a little check every now and again on your knee. Just check that that's staying in line. And then one more. Shoulders back and down, posture nice and long. Let's just finish with our one leg squat. There. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Pop your equipment down and we'll have a little stretch. Grab a drink. And come. So I'm going to sit on our bottoms, knees facing one way, feet facing the other. So we're just going to sit there on as much of a twist as feels good for you. It doesn't matter what it. And then first of all, let's do a few, so backhand down, and we're just going to do a few little push-ups. So just stretching all the way up. That should feel like quite a nice stretch at the back. We'll do a couple of these. There. And then one more for good luck. Brilliant. Grab hold of this back foot. Let's do a quick quad stretch. Remember, this is your version of your knee stretch. Little squeeze of those shoulder blades at the back as well. And then let that go. Pop your hands just in front. So just sort of fingertips on the floor here, if you can reach, or certainly toward the floor. And then now have a little walk past that bent knee. All the way around, as far as you can go. Try and keep nice and upright. Push through those fingertips. And then now have a little bit of a round through your spine. And then just walk your way around. Back to where we started. Brilliant. Let's do a few up and overs. So bend your knees, twist your hips this way, and then back again. You can use your hands at the back. This isn't a core exercise, this is just a nice little loosen off. There. And
flags up your stiff old man.
And then let's land the other way, so we're doing the other hip. Let's start with our little push-ups. Ease up through there, and then back down. Ease up through there, and then back down. And then ease up, and back down. Let's pop in a little quad stretch, just to where it feels comfy on your knee. Remember, the stretching bit is always your version of it. There should never be any pain with these ones. And then drop that leg out. Nice and upright, fingertips towards the floor. Little crawl round as far as you can go. And then a little collapse through that spine. And a little creep back as far around as you can go. And then nice and upright. bottom. Have a bit of a wriggle around, give your bum a bit of a massage. And then with a straight spine first, you're just going to crawl those fingertips forwards. Doesn't matter where you get to. You should be feeling, get your toes nice and flexed up towards your head. And then just a little kind of, and then creep your way backwards. And then have a nice little collapse through, round those shoulders. Ease your way forwards. A little stretch through there. And then all the way back up. Little round of your shoulders.